People are freaking out. Bitcoin's down from 69. We hit an all-time high, whatever, 7 to 10 days ago. It's below 60. Where are you at from a sentiment perspective?
Generally, like Twitter sentiment can be faded. It's kind of plus EV. Yeah, I mean, right now Twitter sentiment's absolute garbage. You go on there, everyone's like depressed and stuff, and you zoom out and you look, and we're at, we're in the upper 50Ks and everyone's panicking. It's kind of funny how you lose perspective in that sense. We've been pretty much up only since September with no correction. We get our first correction since then, and all of a sudden everyone panics. So I think it's easy to kind of lose sight of the bigger picture, as well as kind of get caught up in these kind of short-term fluctuations, which are all part of Bitcoin. Markets trade both ways. You have to trade up to trade down, and you have to trade down to trade up. It's just part of how markets move. And so, I think through what we'll get into in a second, I think, in my opinion, the kind of broader thesis that we've been talking about in the sense of being in a bull market hasn't changed. And until we start to see those behavioral, trends in the data change, I'm not going to change my outlook either. I kind of follow the data and, see what it says. And I try to stay, unemotional and objective as possible.
Let's look at the future perpetual funding rate chart to start. What's going on there?
Yeah, you mind if we just back up and touch on this first chart real quick? Just the top price chart. I just want to point out something real quick. So first of all, what we had talked about 2 weeks ago was we are entering this volatility squeeze, which is highlighted by this kind of yellow shaded area. We were smack dab in the middle of these two Bollinger Bands, which are essentially looking at the standard deviation from price. And what we said was that in the last three squeezes we had, we faked out in one direction to grab liquidity from breakout traders before reversing. And so this actually happened a fourth time. And so as we were kind of breaking out above that top band, I sent out a tweet and basically said, is it happening again? And of course, everyone was like, no, we're going to the moon, blah, blah, blah. But, it's like you look and see kind of patterns repeat. And so based off of that, I was kind of cautious as we broke above this upper Bollinger Band. And we did, in fact, get a fourth fake out, essentially of a fake out or fake breakout, to the upper side of the bands before reversing now to the downside. So it's just something I wanted to point out. We were kind of watching for this, and just moving forward, we'll be watching for that again, because this has been a pattern that's now occurred several times in a row, where you kind of have seen whatever special force at will that you want to call it, that's behind price, kind of leading into kind of this fake out to grab that liquidity. Everyone's like, okay, we're squeezing to the upside, and then reverse the market, and that's kind of what we've seen. And not to get into any kind of conspiracy theory and say there's the Illuminati behind the price, but that's just generally how markets trade. Is they move to where the liquidity is. And so I'm not fully surprised to see this move that we've seen, because we were prepared for this. And some of the stuff we'll get into in a second. We've been kind of due for a reset on some things like funding and SOPR, and this is stuff that we've talked about for a while. So not all surprising per se.